And we're live. Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining me today as we uncover the mysteries of the Mandela effect itself and find out the true meaning of it all. We must discover what is really happening, what is really going on here to change these things that we know and hold dear to us. And let us help others discover the meaning of the Mandela effect and how it affects them and the price of milk. Thank you. And be sure to hit the like and subscribe down below. Hey guys, welcome to the exciting channel. We're talking about Mandela effects. Welcome everyone. Welcome all Mandela effectians. So we've got a great show planned for you guys. But first we wanted to get into some birthdays and do some shout outs. So Jeff, let's start with Teresa. Teresa, you want to do a couple shout outs and then we'll get into the birthdays?
Yeah, let me get the shout outs for you. Hold on.
Sure.
We have Karen Maloney, who's trying to stay awake. Noise Guru, Sandy Diva, Anna Log Lime, Jinsey Torday, Robert Humphrey, Dean Johnston, welcome. I think Preliminal was here earlier. Did I see Preliminal? Noise Guru? Yeah, Preliminal was like the first one here. And I did say Robert Humphrey. Spirit Seekers Paranormal, welcome. You're new. All right, I think that's it. I got Analog Lime. Yep.
Okay,
people
great.
are going to they'll be joining.
Yeah, we
every few minutes here.
I know it's a little bit late notice, but you know we're here. So thank you all for being here. And Jeff, you want to take the birthdays? Thanks, Teresa.
You're welcome. Hey, isn't Father's Day tomorrow?
It's actually next weekend. I could have sworn it was.
I thought it was tomorrow.
I always thought it was the second week of June or something.
Oh my gosh! That's another Mandela effect. I swear I swear it was tomorrow.
It's the 18th. It's on my birthday.
And my friend was born on the 19th, and her birthday was frequently on Father's Day. So I think for me, it's always.
Does it change every year, or is it always on the same day?
No, it's
never on the same day.
It's usually on a Sunday.
It's on the Sunday of the same week.
Oh. Okay, I always thought it was like the second week or something. I don't know. That's weird.
It could be. I mean, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying just for me, it's always been the third week.
Strange.
Did you get Ralph and Cassie Francis and Jen?
Yeah, Mandela affected and DD74.
Robert Humphrey.
Yeah, I did Robert Humphrey. I think that's everybody. Yep.
I just want to say something happened with my subscriber count. I think that's why I have it. Brian, do you have a little thingy on the side so people can give you hearts and like?
Sandy, you should put your link to your channel in the group in the chat so people can subscribe.
No, that's okay, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is I've never had this in my chat before. I now have a little circle that people can give little hearts and smiley faces and.
It's the Mandela effect, Sandy.
No, I think it's just I've seen it on other channels, just not mine before.
Wow.
Are you asking me to check?
Is it on your channel?
Let me see. Hold on.
I don't know. You'll have to.
Let me see. Hold on.
I'll have to go to Brian's channel real quick and see if Brian has it. Maybe it
Jinsey says you have 631.
Yeah, it must be something new. It's a little circle at the bottom, like
weird.
You can hit the heart.
Yeah, I've never had that before. Hi, Spirit Seekers Paranormal. Welcome.
You guys see that in the broadcast? I'm shooting hearts and laughy faces and.
Yeah.
I've seen that for weeks.
Really?
Not on my phone.
No, that's something new. I don't recall ever seeing that.
I
Yeah, it's been
agree.
there
It's
a while
annoying
now.
that it's on top of messages. I don't think you can move it either. No.
Nope.
They want. It's like they're trying to beat TikTok. I think isn't that how TikTok is?
Yeah. Their YouTube is like a TikTok wannabe. Anyway,
Okay.
let's get on with the birthdays.
Jeff?
All right. We got Mark Fewings on June 9th. Curiouser on June 11th.
Yes. Happy birthday, Curiouser and Curiouser. Her birthday's tomorrow.
Melanie
belated
Brown
birthday.
also on June 11th. Dominic Frost, June 12th. Claire P., which is Curiouser's mother, on June 15th. Me on June 18th. Nick Doherty on June 25th. And Damien Alston on June 29th.
And can we just go back for 1 second? June 7th was Francine's birthday. Just want to mention that. It's Francine sometimes in the chat.
I think the June people are Geminis. Am I correct?
Well, some.
Not for the whole month.
It's Taurus and Gemini,
Ah,
right?
they cross over then. But yeah, just like
Or
my
just the other
sign
way?
is. Yeah.
What's after Gemini?
Jeff, what are you?
Cancer?
Cancer is after Gemini. I'm a Gemini.
Okay, so Gemini and Cancer is June.
Got it.
Well, which one is December?
Sagittarius and then Capricorn.
Yep.
I know that one.
Yeah.
The Sagittarius comes right after my sign, Scorpio. So it's Scorpio, Sagittarius, then Capricorn, and then it goes into Aquarius, which is what my father
Yeah.
was.
Again,
Yep.
refresh me on where are we? Are we in the Orion Belt or
No. Well, listen,
at
yeah.
Sagittarius Arm or what?
Well, yeah,
Orion.
we're in the Orion, but I'm going to be talking about that in a couple weeks. But before we go any further, Karen's son's birthday is June 12th.
Woo-hoo.
Wow.
I don't know if you want me saying his name, but happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, everybody. Early or Mark Viewings. His was yesterday, I think. I posted
Happy birthday,
in my.
Mark.
I did a post in my group. I don't know if you guys seen it or not, but I did a post for Mark Viewings.
I don't do
Yep.
anything but work on the show for 2 days.
Oh, okay. And I'll probably tomorrow doing for Curiouser in my group and probably in her own group. Just, yep.
I'm taking screenshots because Jency's giving us her birthday. If you guys want to shout out for your birthday, just put your birthdays in the chat. We'll keep a list.
That's another thing. I kind of remember Sagittarius having one T, but then again, I don't know. It's one of those things.
Well, you know what,
I didn't really
Brian?
pay. Huh?
Most of this show is about spelling, so everybody get your spelling caps on. We got a lot of spelling stuff tonight.
It freaked me out, Sandy, the one that I found.
Jeff?
Yep.
Did we manage to get all the birthdays?
Huh?
Jeff, are you there?
Jeff?
Jeff is muted.
Jeff's muted.
Okay, well, I guess we can go ahead and move on, right?
Yeah. You want to start with the links in my group?
Sure.
Okay.
We need to make like a nice intro for Teresa's Facebook stuff
Uh-huh.
so she's actually here.
It sounds like somebody's volunteering.
Yeah, I probably will.
You know, Sandy, you're good with that stuff. You're good with all that.
Is this the first one you're going to show?
Yeah, this is the first one here. This is residue for Forrest Gump.
Yeah, these kids in the classroom, the teacher, I believe, was testing them on 1990s trivia for different pop culture things. and none of them really knew the answer. I think only one kid knew it. And there's residue at 225, and you'll hear it. And I was like, yay.
Okay, I'm going to go to full screen so you guys can see this. Okay,
And
is
we're
that
going to
better?
mute up so that people can hear it
Yep.
better.
Okay.
Listen carefully.
Oh, okay. Ready? Are you ready? What does AOL stand for? Okay. Finish the sentence. Ready? Finish the sentence. Life is like a box of chocolates. Yeah, sit down. Okay. Oh.
Did you guys see that?
Are they
I'll
all
play it
like
again.
saying skip?
Did you hear it?
Yeah, but are they all saying like I don't know and skip?
You can remember, guys, they're kids.
Finish the
They're-
sentence.
yeah.
Ready? Finish the sentence. Life is like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're going to get.
That's what they're. But
Okay.
see, none of them know the '90s. Remember, these
That's
are
a
young
failure
children.
of their parents, though. Their
I know.
parents have
Matt,
failed them.
You know, half of these kids don't even know the capital of their own state.
Sandy, at the very beginning of this video, I think you're please be kind, rewind, Brian. If you start at the beginning, you'll hear that. If you go to the very beginning, I think there was residue there.
No.
Hmm?
Blockbuster always had please be kind, rewind, or rewind, please be kind, and rewind.
Yeah, it's at the beginning of this video. That was the first one.
And
the
now
first
there's all
Chase, you ready to
sorts
play
of
90s
saying.
trivia? Yes. All right, Chase. After you answer the question correct or incorrect, you go to the back of the line. You got it? All right, Chase. What does be kind, rewind mean?
No, it says be kind.
Hey, now the please is gone.
All right, ready?
It changed.
Jesus God,
No,
yeah, it
no, no,
was-
no, 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 no. It had a
Please.
different. It changed.
I'm going to
Man,
have to look that up now.
it changed. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's not your fault. Well, now
wanna
they heard
see
the
a
current
picture.
reality, so
I mean, they made a movie about it, but
I have
A lot of
whole
people don't
folder on
understand.
it.
oh my
Sandy,
goodness,
do you want to explain this Mandela
no.
effect to people?
Brian,
Okay,
I did a whole folder on this.
Yeah, Blockbuster says be kind, please rewind or something.
Or please remember to rewind. It was always please be kind and rewind, or
That's what I remember.
please
This is
rewind.
be kind,
Please rewind.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have current memory on this.
Was it be kind, please rewind? I thought it was please.
Be kind, rewind is what I remember.
I don't.
What's the chat
No.
remember?
Okay, well, these tapes over here, majority of them are saying "Be kind, please rewind," but I feel like that's backwards.
It is.
I remember please be kind, rewind.
No. I remember please be kind, rewind, and be kind, please rewind.
Oh, I just remember please be kind, rewind, because I used to get videos all the time. Like
And
I had
be kind, please. I just said that. Be kind, please rewind. Which Blockbuster did have, but the most common one is please remember to rewind, and I don't know that at all.
Yeah.
Now,
Interesting.
Now we don't have to worry about so much copyrights with TikTok unless there's some like music or whatever. So if there is, I may have to silence that part. But anyway, let me play this for you guys. This is interesting. We've talked about this particular Bible verse changing. This is Luke 19, I believe, verse 6.
I wanted you to see this, Brian.
Yeah, let's play this.
Okay.
Before you play it, Preliminal is back in the chat.
Oh, hey, Preliminal, welcome back.
Changed my Bible and it's triggering, and I'm going to show you why.
All right, let's see it.
This is Luke 19:27.
Oh, 27,
Now as for
1927.
those enemies of mine who did not want me to be their king, bring them here and kill them in my presence.
Yep, that's pretty straightforward. The Greek verb there is katasphado, from the verbal root sphadzo, just means to slaughter, to strike down, to kill.
It used to be show them to me.
It was show
CERN
them.
changed it.
What do you remember, Brian?
It was show
I don't
them
know
to
why
me.
CERN would have anything at all to do with a translation of the Bible, but I wanted to see how far back we had to go to find that reading, show them to me. I could not find anything from the 21st century, and I couldn't find anything from the 20th century, but let's take a look at some older translations. So here's the 1881 RV, the revised version, the first major revision of the King James Version.
You guys note here, we're not just looking at modern Bibles, as the speaker is talking about here. He's actually presenting multiple Bibles with different translations and different chronologies. Like, in other words, there's some here from like the 15 and 1600s, and it still translates out to be the same thing.
I don't believe CERN changed it, though.
270 years before that, we had the 1611 King James Version, Slay Them Before Me. The KJV is a revision of the Bishop's Bible. This is the first edition from 1568, Slay Them Before Me. The King James Version was supposed to replace the Geneva Bible, the most popular Bible in the world at the time. This is the 1561st edition, Slay Them Before Me. Miles Coverdale is responsible for the first full English translation of the Bible to be printed from 1535, Slay Them Before Me. William Tyndale's 1526 New Testament was the first English translation of the New Testament directly from Greek source texts, Slay Them Before Me. So let's check out a manuscript of Wycliffe's 1382 New Testament, the first translation of the full New Testament into English from the Latin Vulgate, Slay.
So how you're going to know is you ask a couple of people who've been reading their Bible for like 10 years, 15 years, and they will not remember Jesus ever saying to kill anybody in his presence. It makes absolutely no sense when he's talking love and he's talking turn the other cheek. This goes
You guys ever remember this?
And there's a bunch more.
So
do you remember this verse being like this, guys? Where it said Jesus is telling people basically to kill in this, or the master is killing his servant.
I honestly can't say I know the verse.
Sharing a parable about a king saying to kill someone. But additionally, the Bible is not univocal. The Bible disagrees with itself and contradicts itself in many places, including...
Brian, do you have a Bible you can look at?
So the next time Jesus' words don't make sense to you...
I've seen this many times.
Maybe try to do a little more research on Jesus' words and understand them a little better before immediately jumping to...
Karen?
What's Dean saying?
Yeah, I'm wondering what Karen and Dean are saying. Welcome, Gregory DeRosa. Okay, here's the thing. I don't believe CERN is changing it. Like I said, in my opinion, CERN is amplifying the Mandela effect. It's making it more obvious to me, at least. It's an amplification device. I don't know any other way I can describe that's how CERN affects my life, apparently. My ears do ring more when it's on, but when it's off, I still get hit with a ton of Mandela effects. I don't know that exact Bible verse. However, Jesus has told like Moses to kill his children. They have used other words like slay. So God has told, but
well, it was.
I believe people that say it has changed, and I just think we're in a reality. The way I see it is we're in a reality where this has always been. It's changed because it's changed from our memories, if that makes sense. Our memories don't line up with the current reality. But I could believe that the devil is doing it. I mean, like I said, I am not set in stone on what I believe. I am open to mostly everything, except, like I said, CERN. I can believe it's amplifying it, but I don't think it's causing it, because why would I still be getting hit like crazy with Mandela effects when it's off? And I cannot believe in simulation theory, because
what's really weird, guys, is that I don't know if can you guys hear me? I'm a little bit further away from the computer.
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
Okay, so do you remember a while back CERN actually put out a publication, and a lot of it was dealing with the various Mandela effects. They had like a cartoon picture of Mirror Mirror on the Wall, and the witch from Snow White, and there was some other ones that they had on there, like Monopoly Guy, I think was on there. There's several of them, and all pointed to Mandela effects. Not to mention, you have one of the main scientists, one of the older scientists. He's holding up a sign, Nelson Mandela. I mean, it is a little bit odd.
I think they were messing with us, though. I really do. I think that was a psyop. They're messing with us. But I do want to say something with John Nada. I don't believe any of our memories are inaccurate. Not a one. All of our memories are accurate, unless, there have been times I said maybe I am remembering this wrong. Like, I will concede that it's possible. I am remembering it wrong, and that's why I ask everyone what they remember. But in the majority of cases, I believe our memories are completely accurate. However, I believe we are moving in and out of different realities at all times, and that's why there's more than one version of people. Like, some people, like I just covered Daphne and her stocking. Some people remember the hot pink, some people remember lavender, some people remember like nude stockings, and other people remember the light pink. I think there's multiple realities, and we're moving in and out of them.
Well,
like I said, but for me, I think multiple things are at play. I don't think it's just one thing, and that's why the Mandela effect is in everything. It's everything.
Now,
Everything
Sandy,
is changing.
I had something I wanted to add to what you were just saying. So, Fiona Broom came on yesterday. Is that right? On Coast to Coast?
No, she did not. She didn't show. It was a false alarm. That was an old clip.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's what I was trying to tell you.
Okay, well, that's weird because it was showing it was premiered.
Well, because originally they thought she was going to be on live, and then they said it was a false alarm.
Well, that's a trick, isn't it?
Well, I think they got tricked, and they were stuck because they told people there was going to be a live show. So instead, they did a premiere of an old clip.
Oh, wow. So this woman is hard to get a hold of, I guess. I've tried to email her and reach out to her. I could try some more. I'd like to have her on our show. Fiona Broom, she defines this Mandela effect as a pattern of consistent memories that don't seem to have any foundation in our reality. But she talks about them being vivid and persistent in there, and unlike just people forgetting, she suggests that the Mandela effect is not just a quirk of misremembering, but something that sticks with people. So she is in agreement with it. She's the one who coined the term Mandela effect. She also speculates about the causes. Now, this adds to what you were saying, okay? Mm-hmm. So, including the parallel realities and time travel.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to time travel either. Although I do subscribe to being on an earlier version of Earth.
but how do you explain how something changes in the past, the present, the future without saying it's time travel?
Brian, like I said, I may even put an actual video together, guys. I know, don't pass out or anything. I may actually do an actual video explaining a theory I have.
Yeah. I mean, it's all these are just theories. They're not actual fact, but some of them can be proven with science.
But I will say, Brian, there are a lot of things that she speaks about that I am not on board with. I am not a fan of hers, but I don't really know her that much to say I'm not a fan of hers. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. No,
what I've heard, I'm not a fan of.
The way she describes the possibility of psychic phenomena, that kind of leads me to believe that that's not so much Christian because, guys,
There's
my take on everything.
un-Christian things coming from her that I've heard.
The what?
There are some of the things, again, I've heard clips, I've heard things from other people, and it sounds very not Christian.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And she, I think somebody was saying that she was possibly into the witchcraft side of things. I'm not sure if that's actually the case, but she, she suggests that telepathy could be a part of the Mandela effect, where one person experiences an event or parallel reality and others pick up on it. she discusses the topic or concept of markers in the context of Mandela effect. She mentions a case where someone had an ME experience related to the colors of a chevron gas sign. We all know that's Mandela.
Wait, Brian, can I interrupt you for 1 second? I want to say welcome to Angela Baby Carson, who is here from Brian Staveley's channel. Welcome.
Oh, welcome, yes.
I also want to say hi to Super Mario Brothers 3. Ryu Gaming just jumped in the chat, and so did the Physics of Fitness. Sorry. And John Nada.
That's fine. The other thing that Fiona Broom was telling us about on the Coast to Coast broadcast, she touched on the topic of fairies in relation to the Mandela effect. She suggests that mischievous nature of fairies who are believed to move things around could be related. I don't know if I subscribe to that idea, but it is interesting how just prior to listening to all that, me and my daughter were playing this game where we were playing with imaginary fairies. That is weird. Anyway, so we're going to go on to the next Mandela Reality Residue Hunters from Teresa Lynch.
Well, wait, before we do that, since we have new people in the chat, Teresa, who is here with us tonight, Teresa Lynch, has a Facebook group, Mandela Reality Residue Hunters. I will put a link in the chat if you'd like to join, but you must answer the questions, or the admins will just kick you out. But after these, we'll be getting to the Mandela effects. But I'm going to go get a link to Teresa's group while you go on. Sorry about that, Brian. Go ahead.
That's okay. Thank you. You know why we stress answering the questions, right? It's because of bots that scan the internet. There are, we'll just say, members from outside that try to come in, and they're just robots or whatever. So we have to sort those out.
And we had a malicious person specifically going into groups, Flat Earth, Mandela Effect, all these different groups. He was purposely going in there to take them down. So we have to be extra cautious now.
Yes.
So
all right.
Teresa's
With that
group
being
is
said,
in my chat. Now I'm going to yours.
With that being said, Teresa, you want to read this one, or you want me to read it?
You can read it, Brian. Go ahead.
Okay. These orange tooth critters are not beavers or muskrats. They're called nutria or nutria. Not sure how to pronounce that, but they have round, sparsely haired nails, white whiskers, large front teeth that are yellow to orange in color. In addition, they grow up to 30 pounds in weight. They are 2 feet long with a large head, short legs, and typically dark brown. They have been found in Merced, Fresno, San Joaquin, Sacramento, Mariposa, Madera, and Tuolumne counties in California. So they're being found in California. They kind of look like beavers a little bit, don't they? Aren't they like?
Yes, I wanted to clear this up, Brian, because somebody had posted this before and they were calling it they were saying beavers now have this color teeth. It's not a beaver. And I wanted to bring it on the show tonight to clear this up.
Beavers do have iron in their teeth, which makes them orange. I covered that.
But this is not a beaver. It's a nutria. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's weird. It's almost like you just got done eating a giant pumpkin or something.
It's the iron content in their teeth. It's so weird.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Got some comments there.
Yeah, I thought you would enjoy that, to know what it really is. I've never heard of this creature before, so for me that's it's a Mandela effect for me. I've never heard of a nutria.
Yeah, not everything in the group is Mandela's, because a lot of things are just very interesting. Like,
I'm not saying everything that's posted in my group is the Mandela effect. It's very educational, and what I do like about my group is when you post things, we're learning things every day about new things, things that we've never heard of. But I'm not saying everything is a Mandela effect. I just want to say that. It's just, it's a learning experience. I've learned so many things since 2016, and every day something new pops up.
Yeah, so you guys have probably heard of cognitive therapy. Cognitive therapy, let me just explain basically what that is. So I'll give you an example. There was a lab test done on some mice, and there were two sets of study sets that were given different. I guess they were made to be depressed, I guess, and have anxiety. Two sets of mice, and the first set was given drugs or medication, and the second set was not given drugs or medication, but they were led with strings. Like, in other words, like if a mouse was depressed and he got stuck in a certain cell, they would kind of pull him along with strings or like push him with a stick or something to get him to go, like help him with his memory a little bit. So that's what the whole idea behind cognitive therapy is, to help with when you focus on things that help with your memory and learning ability. It usually takes some of the depression and anxiety off. So Teresa's group is very therapeutic. You find a lot of interesting articles in here.
Yeah. And I try to post things when I find interesting things. To let the group know.
So yeah, we have these big weird shapes. Hail.
Yeah, this is going to blow you away, Brian.
In Australia.
Yeah, you can click on the link if you want.
You know what majority of the people are going to say in the chat, Teresa, right?
I've covered. They'd say I've covered this. I've covered the weird shaped hail and snow.
Yeah, I know you did, Sandy, but the stars just threw me off. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah, I knew you covered this, but I was like, stars? How the heck do stars come down from the sky and ice? It's like, really?
Maybe they're just taking on the form of Lucky Charms. I don't know. You have different shaped Lucky Charms. That's what that reminds me of.
I thought it was kind of cool.
It is cool.
You guys having a great time so far? We got plenty more to come.
Yep.
Oh, we heading to Flickr now?
We got a couple more links here from the group.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Teresa posted here, something bizarre is happening at the Large Hadron Collider.
Yes, something new.
Over at CERN. After it was turned on, scientists at CERN discovered evidence of the Higgs boson decaying into a Z boson and a photon, providing indirect evidence of particles beyond those predicted by the standard model, which could one day change our understanding. So yeah, we keep hearing about the Higgs boson as supposedly the God particle. I don't know if you guys have looked into that at all, but yeah, something's weird. I feel like every time they fire up that thing, you see more and more Mandela effects, right, guys?
Yep.
Nope, I just see bigger ones usually.
Yep.
Like I said, for me, it amplifies it. I'm not going to say it anymore. It just amplifies. Gen C, believe it or not, hail is more likely to form when it's warm. It's usually to happen during thunderstorms in the summertime.
Yeah, and did you notice that sometimes during hailstorms you'll see the the clouds will turn green. Mm-hmm. You can look it up. It's an effect that when it's how you can tell if hail is coming. You can see the clouds will turn green to match the grass.
Oh, thank you, Siren Offspring, who says, I'm having fun. I look forward to this every week.
Has anybody that has seen a hailstorm noticed that before, where you see the clouds turn absolutely like emerald colored almost? Or like kind of like a lime green maybe?
I thought that more signaled tornadoes.
That's hail, actually, when you see green clouds.
Oh, that's strange. In my past, it meant tornadoes. Now it means hail. Okay.
I don't know how much of this YouTube video I'm allowed to show, but we're talking about an alleged encounter of the third kind here, I guess in Las Vegas.
Yes, this just recently happened, and I don't know. I did a poll in my group. I wanted you to show the poll to Brian. It's in my group about. I asked the people in my group if they believed in aliens, and I wanted to know if you could show the poll. It's there.
Well, I probably won't be able to share the actual video due to community guidelines on YouTube. It might not allow me to share it.
No, but
So,
you can find an article on it. Just put aliens in Vegas. It's literally all over the world now. Yeah, just find an article on it.
Yes, and I'll actually share this out into the abyss of the chat here, so you guys can pull that out.
Hey,
and,
everyone, while you're doing that, we should all say a prayer for Ryan Iverson, who's in your chat. They had a 5.0 earthquake today.
Where?
I'm not exactly sure where. They wrote initials. It's in Brian's chat.
Oh my goodness.
But we need to say a prayer that no more happen in that area. And Eddie Von Keen says sometime around 1870, 1880, I think it was in Kentucky, yes, raw meat like ground beef fell from the sky in a 30 square mile area for hours.
Wow.
Wait, ground beef did?
Mm-hmm.
Was it cooked or uncooked?
Raw, he said.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm wondering if a processing plant got hit by a tornado.
Well, that's tornadoes to me. They're the scariest things because they can occur basically anywhere in the world. You don't have to be near an ocean or anything like a hurricane. You know it's coming if you're near the coast. You can easily see it days in advance. But tornadoes, you don't really know. You have probably maybe 10 minutes or 20 minutes to get to your safe place.
Hey, Splatter.
As we're, you guys want to give me a couple minutes of time here, Sandy. Let me pull up the Flickr stuff. How many folders do we got tonight?
Start with mine, Brian, because I'm crashing.
It starts with yours, Teresa. 6.
And Teresa, you have 2, right?
Sandy, 2?
Yes, you have 2 tonight.
2 good ones.
Well, I would say 1 good one, and the other one is good if you know the person.
That's true.
Yes.
But I still think it's a change. I really do, even though I don't know the person.
Okay, it looks like we have 6. Is that right? 6 folders?
That is correct.
Is he going to start with the big one, Sandy, or the second to the big one?
The second to the big one.
Okay.
Jency has a Mandela effect tonight that led me to another Mandela effect within it, so it's a longer folder than I anticipated.
Oh, really?
Jency, both of our names are on it.
Hey, you guys see the comment from Tommy?
Tommy?
Tommy's not in my chat.
Don't read it out loud, but it's in the comments there if you guys want to read that.
Let me go see it. Hold on.
I can't read it anything about stuff like that. You know that I can't read it.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I agree with Tommy. I was talking to somebody about that the other day. I agree with him. Yeah, we were actually the person I was talking to, I'm close to, and he talked to me about that like 6 months ago, and he says, just watch that happen. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, Tommy's right. They could do that. I agree with him without saying what it is, but I agree with Tommy. Anything's possible.
Well, my sky turned orange because of a fire up in Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank goodness it's finally out of here.
You want me to read this now?
Yeah, you're up.
Okay. Credit Teresa Lynch. There was a contestant on America's Got Talent whose name has changed for me. I don't know how many people in the chat watch this show. This is kind of a sad story about her. I don't know if you put anything up there, Sandy, did you?
I did. There's a sentence.
Please spell the stage name of the singer-songwriter who was a contestant on AGT in 2021, but sadly passed away from cancer in 2022. Night B.
You can say it. It's the spelling. So you can say it because it's the spelling.
Night Birdie. Nightbird.
Let me
How
guess.
do you remember
Yes,
her?
Jency.
I'm just going to take a wild guess here that the I turned into an E or something.
No.
Oh, Noise Guru says when the aliens appear, I'm heading to Sandy.
Okay.
I really don't watch, what's it called? Reality TV. I think it dumbs down America even more, so. And, it only exists. I don't know if you guys remember this. Reality TV really only took off because of the writer's strike of, I think it was 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's another one, so it's probably going to blow up again, and I'm not happy about that at all.
I'm not getting really no responses for this, Sandy.
Well, Eddie Vine Keene says night bird with an E. Noise Guru says night bird without an E. And Jency's not sure, but she wrote, where'd it go? She wrote, I can find it.
Okay.
She wrote night babe at first, and she said, never heard of night bird without an E. I don't watch American Idol.
Jincy's funny.
Okay, can we go on?
Yeah, let's go on.
Jeff, if you can see Brian's chat, because I can only see my chat. Brian, maybe you should be reading the chat. You can see both.
I remember her name is Nightbird, but it's always been spelled Nightbird with an E. Does this match your memory?
Hey, TD Mage, good to see you.
I don't remember the E at the end. It looks weird. Do you agree, Sandy?
It looks weird. I agree. I don't know her.
I would agree with that one if it wasn't Canadian, maybe, because you know how they do weird things in Canada.
Oh.
It's
Canada.
America. No, it was America's Got Talent, Brian. America.
I know, but I'm saying if she's from Canada, maybe they spell it weird.
Is she from Canada?
I don't know.
I don't think she is.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, it's a weird spelling. Nightbird should be without the E. There's residue right there.
Yep.
Did you find the residue, Teresa?
Yes, I did, right, Sandy?
You did, yes.
Yeah, there was plenty of it too.
Guys, she still got it in her. She's still finding the residues. They're not too terribly hard to find, but sometimes they can be.
Yes, I do have to agree. Sometimes I have the hardest time finding residue, and sometimes it just flows. Like, there you go, right, Sandy?
And yes, and speaking of that, Teresa, all the residue you gave me for John Nada's Mandela effect, I had to trash because it was referring to something else.
Why?
It was referring to I'll tell you I'll tell you afterwards. But it was referring to something else. It's okay. I got new stuff. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You didn't know.
Okay, that's a good find, Teresa. That's a very good find.
Well, the next one's a huger one that everybody's going to know. The next one.
I still can't believe we're almost to the middle of June already.
Ugh.
Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, but guys, we were talking about prayers earlier. Please pray for the Midwest and the South because we're supposed to get some storms tomorrow.
You are?
Yeah.
Where you live at?
For the whole month of May, we've been protected under this high pressure, which acts like a bubble to protect us from storms. We hadn't had much rain, but usually those kinds of things, when you get droughts, usually it leads to bad weather.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, just pray for us, guys.
Okay. Credit Teresa Lynch, an influential writer, poet, critic, and Nobel Prize winner's name has changed. The Wasteland. Please spell the last name of the author who wrote the poem, The Wasteland. T-S-E.
You can
blah,
say
blah, blah,
it. They're spelling it.
You can say it, Teresa.
Oh, T.S. Eliot. How do you remember Elliot being spelled? Please spell it in the chat. Thank you. This one freaked me out, Sandy.
Jency, it could very well be because you're not in the U.S.
I like how I like how in ET, he says Elliot.
So Brian, can you read the chat since you can see both?
Yeah. So we got Mandanimal says Elliot, 2 L's with 1 T.
No.
Desert Flower says the same.
No.
Noise Guru says the same. Jency says 2 L's and 2 T's, I guess.
What?
Most people here, Teresa, are saying 2 L's and 1 T.
Well, you're going to be shocked.
John, well, hang on. You got John Nada that says 2 L's and 2 T's. So that's two votes now. Siren Offspring says Elliot with 2 L's and 1 T. High Pocket says 1 L, 1 T.
Okay.
Same with Eddie Von Keen.
Interesting.
Hey, Eddie Von Keen, you got your name back.
Yeah.
Wow.
E.T., I thought he was saying idiot. Noise Guru says.
You're funny.
E.T. phone home. Now it's E.T. home phone.
Phone home.
All right. So we got enough votes in.
Okay, let's move on. We both remember his name being spelled Elliot, Elliot, but it's always been Eliot with 1 L. Does this match your memory?
No, that is a
It
huge
looks
change.
so. Sandy, I accidentally found that one, like
Teresa,
literally.
That looks so
Teresa,
wrong.
I gotta say, Teresa, when you brought this to my attention, I thought you were saying his spelling had 2 T's or something that you remember. I didn't know you, like you said, it took away 1 L.
Thank you. Yes.
No, that looks weird, guys. Look at that. Most of you.
I think this is a really good find. I was excited about this one, right, Sandy?
Yeah.
But Sandy, do you remember us discussing this one time before?
I don't.
I even checked Flickr. I checked YouTube.
I mean, it's almost like I was having a deja vu moment when she was telling me about this, but maybe, I mean, we've brought up so many Mandela effects.
We've had many Mandela effects with authors.
Yes.
So maybe you're just remembering another author.
Yeah, I don't remember this one, guys. I don't remember doing this one before.
Very possible, but look at all the residue, guys. It's insane.
Here you go.
We've been spelling his name wrong this entire time. Either that,
Sandy, I found a lot of residue for this one, didn't I?
I know, but it's either that or Google messed it up. I've actually seen where Google messed up and spelled John Denver, John Dever. they left out the N. And I think I took a screenshot of it. I'd have to find it for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But it was many years ago.
Thank you, John Nada.
Do you remember that one, Teresa?
Crazy, good one.
Teresa, do you remember that? We talked about it?
Yes.
John Dever.
Greg Weiler remembers 2 L's too.
I definitely remember 2 L's, but I wasn't sure about the T. That was my concern.
But doesn't that look normal? Doesn't that look better, though, with the way it is, the residue?
I think it could be a Google error. What do you think?
No, it's not, Brian. It's on all the books.
Yeah, on all the other books. Look at that. Slides. Somebody did slides, and look how they spelled it.
All right, Teresa, you're officially dismissed.
Thank you. I'm going to excuse myself and say goodnight to everybody in the chat, and thank you for coming. And I'm going to say goodnight to all you guys here in StreamYard. And I'm going to go to bed because I am seriously crashing.
Yes, and Teresa, she's not used to staying up late because she works. She has to get up at 5:30 every morning.
And especially on Saturdays because I got to go running around with somebody.
Yeah.
But I do get to sleep in tomorrow morning, which is good.
Well, that's good.
But I'm just going to say goodnight to everybody. Good night, Brian, Sandy, and Jeff.
Good night.
And happy
Good night,
birthday to
Teresa.
you also, Jeff. Early
Wait,
Thank
birthday.
you.
Jeff, when's your birthday?
June 18th.
Coming up.
On Father's Day?
Yes.
Wow. That's awesome. Happy. Well, I don't want to. You're supposed to. supposed to say it on the birthday, so I'll make sure I wait for that. I'll definitely
All right.
go.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Night, Teresa.
Good night.
So, Jeff, do you want to read
Good night,
this
Teresa.
one?
Yeah.
All right. So this is credit John Donna. You want to
Okay.
read this one, Jeff?
Yeah. The
Okay.
name of a medicinal herb has changed for John, and we are curious if you remember the same as he does. Same name as he does. This spice herb tea is used for its anti-inflammatory properties, as well as an expectorant and cough suppressant. MULL blank.
Now, I can't say this because the different spelling gives it a different sound. So if anyone knows this, please write the answer in the chat. I can say it ends in an N. So the last letter is an N.
I don't know. I keep wanting to say mulberry.
It ends in an N, Brian.
I know.
Eddie Von Keen says Mullenberry. So we'll go with Mullen for Eddie Von Keen. But we have Mullane for Red Storm, and for Mandela Effective, we have Mullion.
My other favorite word that's if you left off the ULL, I would have said Milner. I don't know. I'm just guessing randomly.
Interesting. Two people say Mullion, and Red Storm says Moline.
It's not Mully.
Brian, can you please see your chat? Because I can't.
Okay, so we got Edward Von Keen says Mullenberry. Red Storm. Let's see. Tommy Apple says melatonin. TD Mage says mullion. Noise Guru says I've never smoked it. Mullion pronounced.
Mullion.
Mullion. Now I don't know. Yes, some mulberry for me. Mikado. Hellion says good night, Teresa. Mullion is what Red Storm says. Is it mullion? What is it?
Well, we're going to get to that. Go ahead, Jeff.
John remembers this herb or spice being called mullein, but it's always been mullion. Do you remember it spelled like he does?
No, it looks like Moline, like kind of like
Moline. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like it was interesting that people were putting IEN when it's actually EIN. Mullane. It looks like Mullane, to be honest with you. That's how I would pronounce it, Mullane.
You know, this isn't the first time we've seen herbs change like this because, I mean, look at that. What's that yellow powder?
Yes, turmeric instead of turmeric.
Turmeric is now turmeric. I think Moneybags actually found that one. Moneybags, he's a frequent flyer on our channel, and you know, I've always looked up to his channel, and yeah, I seem to remember him presenting this one about turmeric versus turmeric.
So this is the current reality, and here's residue of what John remembers.
Yeah, look at that. Look at how in the description is different than what's actually there on the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the person selling it, didn't they bother to look it up and make sure it was right? I'm sure they did at the time.
Yep.
Any analogies for this one?
I have no idea. But the residue Teresa got me was from mulling spices, that people were putting Mullen spices. So, if any of you remember Mullen spices instead of mulling spices.
But look at that. Walmart even has it listed as mullen leaves.
It does. It does.
I never
And
heard
again,
of it.
I've never heard of it either.
So that's why I didn't know how to pronounce it.
But
And
it's supposed to be anti-inflammatory, I guess.
It's more used as a cough suppressant and expectorant, but it has anti-inflammatory properties.
And it's like a tea or what?
It's an herb that is frequently used as a tea.
I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it either. Yes, it is a fuzzy-leaved plant with a silver hue because of the fuzz.
All right, guys. So this next Emmy, if you bake, you may be familiar with a brand called Knox.
You want to read this one, Brian?
Yeah, I'll take this one over. So I've used it many times whenever I've needed unflavored Jello. So this is one. Credit goes to Sandy on this one. Strangely, this change only affects the Knox brand. Every other brand is how I remember it. Please spell what Knox and Jello are made of. Gel blank.
Please spell gelatin.
Not to mention, look at the letters. The F and the L are merged. The K and the N are merged. Do you see that?
Yeah, the red box doesn't stand out very well against orange.
We're talking about
Brian,
what?
Get the chat, because there's a lot of different spellings coming in.
Okay. So we have
Actually, wait, guys. Please redo the spelling and say where you're from. Which country? What country are you from?
Hang on a second. Sandy,
matters. Huh?
Sandy, you have a comment on that last one about the herb. Mandela affected says that herb also helps remove tar from the lungs.
Interesting.
So any smokers out there who want to get rid of that the crud that's in your lungs, try that herb. Maybe it might help.
But yeah, the country actually matters. That's why I'm asking what country you're from. Okay,
so Red Storm says gelatin, like I remember, Gellatin. That's what I remember. Jency says gelatine.
And Jency is from Transylvania, so.
Jency's from Transylvania?
Yeah.
Wow. Gelatin. John Nada says gelatin. So most of you guys are actually saying gelatin. High Pockets, Noise Guru, TD Mage says gelatin. Jency says no, I'm not misremembering. I've heard of it before, and it was gelatin. So it changed. Okay, so Jency says gelatin.
Interesting. So this may be a Mandela effect for people it may be a bigger Mandela effect than I thought if people from other countries, well, we'll get to that when we go on.
Eddie Von Keen says gelatine, almost like a guillotine.
Yes, I know what they used. They used beef tallow, they used
Okay, so Jency's actually Romania.
Ground bones and all sorts of cornstarch. There's lots of stuff you could use to thicken, to stabilize.
John Nada says gelatin USA. U.S. gelatin. Most people in the U.S. are saying gelatin. Made animal. Okay, Jency says Euro is gelatin as well, without the E.
Interesting. So this may be bigger than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we can go on, Brian.
Okay. Well, isn't it made from animal bones?
Yes, there are vegan options. There's all sorts of options now.
Okay. So, like Sandy was saying, every U.S. brand still uses the spelling. I remember gelatin, In other parts of the world, they spell it with an E, gelatine.
But as we're learning in the chat, that's a change. So go on, Brian.
So, yeah, no problem. In the UK, Australia, Europe, and Asia, the spelling has always been gelatine. So you're telling me it's country-based or where you're located?
Well, basically only the U.S. leaves the E off, but according to Jency and other people in the chat, it was gelatin and it has changed to gelatine.
Wow, except made in the USA, Camden, New Jersey, Knox now says gelatine also, too, and has always been spelled gelatine. It was never spelled with an E in my past, she says.
No, absolutely not.
No, and even stranger, there's a product by Knox I've never heard of, and to be fair, it was before her time, she says. I've never heard an adult in my life mention it. Does anybody remember a Knox gelatin drink? Anybody? There aren't many photos online, but I'm guessing it's from the 70s, she says.
But then I also found this ad from the 1920s or 30s. It says, Knox Pure Plain Sparkling Gelatine. So now I'm wondering if that was a use in drinks back in the 30s. I've never heard of Jello used in drinks by Knox. That is totally new for me. Has anyone ever heard of this?
No, but whenever I think of the Jello brand, I think immediately of Cosby.
Yeah, but why would you want to drink Jello? I don't know. It's like melted Jello. It'd be a thick drink.
That stuff stays good forever, pretty much. I mean, it stays good for a while. When you have the powdered Jello you make, lasts a long time. So next one we have. Looks like we got some logo changes to talk about. Now, I've actually talked about this one before, Sandy, about the Go-Gurt. Go-Gurt never used to have an arrow, but it's got a man. Was it the male symbol now?
Right, but the thing is, I remember when you covered it, it didn't go all the way back, and now it's always been there.
Really?
So you're going to see all the years, yeah.
That's weird.
So all the years it's there. Do you guys remember an arrow and Go-Gurt?
Never. Not in my. What about you, Jeff?
No, I don't remember that.
I don't even remember a dash, to be honest with you.
We got more logo merging going on with a what is this? A market, like a supermarket?
It's a grocery store. I've never heard of it. I can't say it's changed, but that's a major merging there. So if anyone's ever heard of Marsh Grocery Store Marketplace, please speak up in the chat. Let us know if it's always been merged like that for you.
That's just a close-up of the same logo. The R and the S is merged. Now you notice now some of the words are red, some of them are white, but it's the same logo pretty much.
Now I don't know what this is, but that's a Persona. It's a company brand logo. I just thought it was strange. You got the crooked E's, some weird shaped letters. Not saying it's a change. Never saw it before. Just wanted to show it to you. Some of the crazy logos that are out there nowadays. But this is a change for me. I don't remember the merging. Why is the E in apple different from the E in pie? And these are the old packaging.
Wow.
Pumpkin, the KI, the AP. Look at that, Brian.
Yeah, that reminds me of the Applebee's. The apple, the A and the P in Applebee's is merged.
So I'm seeing a pattern with things overlapping. And this, the Saturday Superstar movie, check out the PM. There's a shadow. The overlapping is making a shadow. The whole thing is merged. Like Movier merged, all broken letters. The T's are cut off. It's completely Mandela, in my opinion. But we have that overlapping and a shadow. Just so weird for the 1980s. That is so weird. All right, guys, this logo is from 1982. American Greetings. Check out the broken R and all the merging going on. Look at the GS. It was not like that. Absolutely not. You will never convince me it looked like that. All right, so here's another one of those weird logos in the 80s where all the S's are connected like a snake into the P with a like a lock, a keyhole. And then why is the 4 but not the 8s, the 6s, and the 0s filled in? It's also all merged. And then all the words are merged. I just couldn't mark it all up. And then here's some residue. Now, it's wrong at the top, the Smokey Bear Show. But there's the overalls I remember. See, I don't remember suspenders. I remember overalls. Overalls have, the straps too. But this is what I remember.
That's it for that folder.
And now we should be on the last one, which I'm going to read. Actually, Jeff, you read. You've been really quiet tonight. Huh, Brian?
Yeah, this one's kind of a major one. This is isn't this a big one?
Yeah. Yeah, that's I'm going to let Jeff read because he's been really quiet tonight.
All right, credit Gen C and Sandy. Recently, Gen C brought a Mandela to my attention in the comments of one of my live streams. That led me to finding another change. Gen C noticed the last name had changed, and while searching for residue, I realized Samantha's husband's first name had changed as well. Please spell the first and last name from your memory of Samantha's husband and the father of Tabitha and Adam.
You can say
Darren Stevens. How do you spell it?
So Gen C says.
I feel like it was an IN.
Darren and Gen C. Well, Brian, you read the chat because you can see both. Gen C remembers it just like I do.
I dream of Samantha. That's funny, Noise Guru. Gen C says Darren, Darren, Stevens with a V. Looks like High Pockets says the same thing. It's okay, guys. If you remember it differently, don't worry. We're not going to shun anyone here. Now TD Mage remembers Darren, Darren, with Stevens PH. Most of you guys remember Darren with 2 R's and an E. I feel like it's probably Darin now. I feel like it's probably changed to that.
Well, Red Storm remembers Darin.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's probably changed to. Lord Fried Bread says Darren, Darren.
There's actually 3 changes tonight. I had a third one at the end after the residue.
Yeah. Jency says they always got his name wrong during. This is how funny. Okay. So we're good now?
Yep.
Thank you, Dean.
Jeff, what do you remember?
Darren Stevens, Stevens. Gen C and I share the same memory of the family's last name. We remember it spelled Stevens with a V, but now it's always been spelled with a PH, Stevens. I was having trouble finding residue of Darren because his name was always spelled Darrin with an I. Do you remember Darren with an E like I do?
I do.
It was never RIN and with a PH for me.
No.
This is a good find, Jency.
Very good find.
So at the top here, you have it both the correct way for my reality at least. Then underneath, Stevens is right, but Darren is wrong. There's a lot of residue here, but you're going to see a lot of wrong Darrens first with the I.
So this show and the other show with Barbara Eden came out around the same time?
Yes.
I used to love that show, I Dream of Jeannie.
I loved it, but I preferred Bewitched.
I prefer Bewitched also.
Hey, Brian, you can go on. There's a lot of residue.
I think the I Dream of Jeannie changed too, didn't it? The name?
We've covered I Dream of Jeannie's bottle. We've covered a lot of things, Brian. There's so much we've covered. I can't remember anymore.
Yeah, I really wish we would have logged a lot of these on a spreadsheet.
Well, it's in my Flickr. Anybody can go see what we've covered over the years. I can put a link to the Flickr in my description.
Eventually, with the power of the AI, we'll be able to scan my whole playlist, and then it'll tell me everything we talked about. There's a lot of residue here for Darren with the EN.
Here's my Flickr album. If anybody wants to go look at the stuff you've missed over the years.
How many years have you had the Flickr?
Since 2019, or yeah, 2019.
Yeah, we're working on. We're actually in. Let's see, 2017 is when I started broadcasting. Right. So.
Mm-hmm.
What year? So we're actually in year 6 right now. Would you believe that we're in year 6?
Well, you are. I started in 2018.
But you've been following me since then, right?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I've been following Mandela Effect Channel since 2016. So Amazon has Stevens.
For me, it was I don't know which YouTube channel woke you guys up, sort of to speak, but Moneybag73 woke me up.
Same.
Same for you too?
Yeah. No, check this out. This is an actual doll, like a ceramic thing, I think. It actually writes Samantha Stevens on the box, the way I remember it's spelled.
Yeah, that name is kind of Stevens is weird. How why would there be multiple spellings of the same name like that? Just like kind of like my name where it's MacFarlane. A lot of people misspell it as McFarlane. Happens all the time. And some people swear up and down my name changed.
Some people remember McFarland with a D.
Yeah, with the D.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's just it. Maybe there really are 4 outcomes of every decision. Have you noticed that? Like, there's usually 4 different outcomes at least.
Yeah, at least 3, I'd say. There's been more, but at least 3.
Right.
Did you pass the Barbie doll yet? Yeah, you did. Okay, so there was a Barbie doll that actually had the names the way I remember it. We passed by it. But, okay, here's the next question. Go ahead, Jeff.
As a little side Mandela, what color do you remember the cat in the intro when it was shown in color?
So, guys, I'm not giving you any options here. What color do you remember the cat in the intro of Bewitched when it was in color? Stay here, Brian. And please read your chat, Brian. And Jeff and Brian, please feel free to answer what you remember.
No, Jency doesn't get it because in there it's Darren with a I-N, Darrin.
I know, that's what it is now.
Yeah, and the last name changed as well.
Yep,
Yeah.
they both changed. That's the point. Yep. Jency found Stevens and I found Darren.
Yes. Now, Lord Fry Bread says black.
Okay.
Mandela says yellow cat. Eddie Von Kuhn says gray.
Black for me.
I would say it was black for me too.
Hi, Mustard Seed of Faith.
Hi, Mustard Seed of Faith.
Anyone else before we go on? Red Storm says black.
I remember dark gray or black. Are you reading, Sandy? Yeah, sorry.
No, Jeff is.
Oh, Jeff.
I remember a dark gray or black. I can even agree to a dark blue. But I have no memory of the cat being purple, do you?
Anyone remember purple? Hi, Adam for Christ.
No
Just
way.
in time for the end. Next slide. Yep, it's purple now. And this intro is created by Hanna-Barbera. So the next slide is residue. Not of the purple cat, but can you read the bottom, Jeff? Are you able to read the bottom?
Yeah. It says Hanna-Barbera, spelled the way we remember. B-A-R-B-A-R-A, not E-R-A.
Like Barbara, but pronounced Barbera.
Right.
And Samantha and Darren with an E, and Stevens with an E.
Right.
And Noise Guru says, I said purple.
You mean Darren with an E and Stevens with a V?
Mm-hmm. And Damien G's here, and he said, knew it. Of course it turned purple. Well, that's all, folks.
Ba-dee, that's all, folks. Hope you all had a wonderful time. We'll be back on our regular schedule for next Saturday, so we hope to see you at the same time, same channel.
Yeah, and we should have an interview show coming up in a couple weeks. We're going to try to schedule it 3 weeks from last Wednesday, from our last interview show. I think it's going to be in 3 weeks, so we may have another interview show.
Do you have the announcement of who we're going to have next, Sandy?
Not yet. I think I know who it is.
We may do a teaser trailer just to get you guys interested who we're going to have on.
It's just that until I know for a fact, I can't do a trailer. So when I know for a fact, we'll let you guys know. But in about 2 weeks from this coming Wednesday, we should have another interview show. So look out for that, and we will see you next Saturday.
Hey, yes. Good night, everyone. Have a great Mandela Effect 9. God bless, and pray for everyone. Stay strong. We got to stay strong together. Okay?
I'll look into that, Eddie.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you all for coming.